Alright, this video I want to share my thoughts on why it sucks to be a martial arts teacher. The benefits is I love martial arts. Everybody out there should know that it's my life. But the thing that sucks about it is it's like a poor man's occupation. Is you'll never get rich off of it. And if you do, you're probably sacrificing the values and the integrity of the martial arts. You're probably selling it out. Not you're probably doing something not good. Something where you're not representing the spiritual aspect of the martial arts. You're not going along with the Tao. You're not following the way of the Tao, and you're selling yourself out. You're selling the art out, and you're corrupted. But if you teach it the right way, the way it's supposed to be taught, you barely make any money, and you be lucky to even make minimum wage, and that's what really sucks about it. But I love it. But you notice, and it's apparent. I mean, there's no martial art colleges out there. There's colleges all over this nation. Every single state, there's colleges. Big Ten colleges, all that. There's absolutely no college where you could major in being a martial artist. Absolutely none. You can find colleges where you can major in being like a ballet dancer or a dancer. You could get into film. You could get into art. I mean, you could get into so many different things that are creative. You could major in music, but you cannot major in martial arts, and that shows you how the industry is just not there. And then when you go towards it, you make nothing. I've been running my school full time for about 6 years now, and it's not easy. You have bills to pay. You gotta have the facility. So the facility might be, $2,000 a month or more, just to pay the baseline bills. And then you got your household bills, your own personal expenses, your family, your home, your cars, or whatever. And that might be another 2,000 or more. So you're talking about you need to make $4,000 just to break even, just to pay your household bills and to pay the business bills. You need to make about $4,000. Okay, and if you made $100 a day, in 30 days, that's $3,000. That's still not enough money. You still need another $1,000. So you need to make probably around $125 a day just to break even. And it's not an easy thing to do to find martial arts students that are committed. Most people out there don't even care to practice martial arts. They don't mind watching some martial art movies. They don't mind watching a boxing match, but people out there don't want to practice the martial arts. The industry just isn't there. The fitness industry is there. So personal trainers could make a decent amount of money. But they're not super rich either. You got gyms everywhere, and then you got gyms like Planet Fitness that are charging like $10 a month, just basically turning the whole fitness industry into something cheap. It's like people are willing to pay $200 a month for cable television, but then they only want to pay $10 a month for the gym membership. And then you got people all over YouTube teaching martial arts, for free. So people don't want to pay for martial arts because they'll just be like, well, I'll just go on YouTube. I'll just download this app. It's like nobody wants to pay for the martial arts. And, I spent, 4 years of my life going to college to Purdue University. I got my degree, spent over $50,000 on a degree. I've worked different jobs. I ended up even becoming a police officer. I started off making like 60,000 a year, and I ended up leaving at around 75,000 a year. And if I would have stayed, I would have easily made over $100,000 a year. And $100,000 a year, that's $50 an hour. You work 8 hours. That's a lot of money. Like that's like $400 a day that you're making. You know, um, so $400 a day, 4 times 5. That's $2,000 in a week. $8,000 in a month you're making being a police officer, and then you can even make more than that. So here I am in an occupation that I used to, potentially I could have made over $100,000 a year, which is $8,000 a month, and then now being a martial arts teacher, you gotta pay the business bills, which is $2,000, and then you got your household bills. It's tough to even make $2,000 a month to have for your household bills. So when you leave an occupation where you're making all this money, and then you get into something where you make nothing, where it's almost like you're making the salary of like a waiter. It's like, that is what I hate about the martial arts. You put all this time into it. I put my whole life into it, but you make nothing. And to be a police officer, you don't even need a bachelor's degree. You just need like an associate's degree. So you just get an associate's degree, and then you go, for the academy, the basic training, 3 months long, pass the polygraph, pass the background checks, pass the interviews, pass the psychological exam. So you pass that stuff, and then you start making over $100,000 a year eventually. But to be a martial artist, you train in for your whole life, and you make nothing. So people, they don't want to be poor. So what do? They want to get into cage fighting to try to make some money there. They want to get into boxing and make some money there. Mayweather's a multi-millionaire. Probably has over $1 billion, and he's a boxer. You got all these cage fighters that are fighters that are making millions. Dana White, multi-millionaire. People get into Hollywood and acting to make millions. People get into rap and music, like Beyonce and Jay-Z, to make millions. But martial artists make nothing. And that's what I hate about it. It's like, and if you put your time into being a police officer, and you're working, 40 hours a week, or in excess, because 40 hours a week is probably just a bare minimum. You might be working 50, 60 hours a week. What time do you have left to practice the martial arts? Much less teach it. So once you start putting all your energy into a specific occupation, you don't have time left to dedicate to the martial arts full time. And your progress suffers. How many people in this world are full-time martial artists? Very few, are out there like that. And if they are full-time martial artists, they're probably poor, or they might be very corrupted in how they have generated money through the martial arts. No matter if they be selling belts for a living, selling certificates, or whatever, teaching bullies to be stronger bullies, teaching people to become fighters. It's like, I see it. It's like I've been to college. I got the certificates. I've been in the law enforcement. I've been in occupations where you're making lots of money. You know, the qualifications are all there. But yet, this industry, people don't want to pay you for your time. You know, I even got into the Uber, and it's like you can easily make $40 an hour or even $50 an hour driving somebody from one place to another. And you don't got to do anything else but drive them from one place to another for $50 an hour. But then you try to charge somebody $50 an hour to teach them some martial arts. They don't want to pay it. They say it's too much money. And they want to pay $5 an hour, $2 an hour. It's like that's a disrespect to the martial arts. That's a disgrace to the martial arts, where this culture and its people, they don't appreciate it. They don't care for it. They wanna pay $7 for a shot of alcohol, but they don't want to pay $7 to join a martial arts class. It's too much money. They want to pay $15 for a pack of cigarettes, but they don't want to pay $15 to join a martial arts class. It's too much money. You know, and I'm sick and tired of it. I really am. To the point where it's like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to train and I'm going to make my money. You know, doing what I need to do. No matter if I need to teach people fitness, drive people around, or whatever. I'll make my money. Make some YouTube videos. But I'm sick and tired of people wanting everything for free when it comes to the martial arts, because it's just undervaluing the entire thing. You know, and I'm sick of it. So I'd rather just not even teach it. I'd rather just train in it. Because I see how the industry's like, and it's a disgrace. You know, honestly, I'd rather be a police officer and make my money and just train in the martial arts and don't even teach it. Because when you try to teach it, people don't even want to pay to learn. But they want to pay for alcohol. They want to pay for cigarettes. They want to pay for cable television. They don't have a problem shelling out $200 a month for their cell phone bill. But when you want to charge them $50 a month, $100 a month, $200 a month for the martial arts, oh, that's too much money. Oh no, no way. Let's join Planet Fitness for $10 a month and let's learn from YouTube. You know, it's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm sick of it. You know, and I'm still going to be training. I'm still going to be doing my thing. But as far as my confidence in this culture and appreciating the martial arts, it's not there. There's no appreciation for it. And it's sad. And that's what I hate about the martial arts. Is that it's so severely undervalued. You know, you got physical therapists who are just basically just showing people how to exercise to prevent injuries, and it's just like basic, like, it's like they don't even do anything. They don't even have to be fit. They don't even need to know how to fight. They don't need to know how to meditate. They don't need to know anything except just to make money off of people who have money and the health insurance covers it, so they're charging maybe $200 an hour, $300 an hour to show you how to do some shoulder exercises, to do some back stretches. And it's just an entire money making, just money thrown everywhere over something so simple and basic. But martial arts is so developed, so complex, so many different things you gotta learn, but then people don't want to pay for that. They want to pay $300 an hour for the physical therapist, but they don't want to pay $50 an hour for the martial artist. So it's almost like everybody that practices martial arts is going to eventually give up in teaching it and getting into something else where they could actually make some money for their time. Because, the appreciation is not there. It's as simple as that. And then there's always the people out there that will accuse the martial arts teachers as saying they're all about the money. They're all about the money. Well, breaking news for you. This world is all about the money. And we live, no matter if you're a martial artist, no matter if you're a police officer, no matter if you're a doctor, no matter if you're a lawyer, everybody out there is all about the money. A police officer is helping you because he's making money, and he's making a good amount of money. The lawyer is helping you because he's making money, and he's making a lot of money. The doctor's helping you because he's making money, and he's making a lot of money. But the martial artist is helping you, and he's barely making enough to pay for his everyday household expenses. He's barely even making minimum wage. But yet he's more qualified than the doctors, than the lawyers, than the police officers. And that is the most aggravating thing in the world. Imagine a doctor who's making $500,000 a year being a doctor, and then he has all the qualifications, he's making $500,000 a year, and then he gives up that profession, becomes a martial artist, and then he starts making less than minimum wage, and he's still healing people the way that he's always healed people, but he's making less than minimum wage. And that's pretty much what happens to the martial artist. Spend probably most of his life becoming a professional, making over $100,000 a year, doing whatever profession. Then he gets into the martial arts, and people don't even want to pay him minimum wage, as if he's unqualified. And that's what I hate about the martial arts. And I can understand people like a Bruce Lee and everybody else out there. You know what? F this. Let me shut down my schools and just get into acting, because this, I'm not going to get anywhere doing this. I have better things to do with my time, and I have greater things to achieve than to just sit around making less than a minimum wage, trying to teach the public something of which they don't even appreciate. But that's what I've been feeling. It's like people just have no problem paying a cab driver $50 for 30 minutes of his time. But they don't want to pay a martial artist $50 for 30 minutes of his time. No way, that's too much money. Like, no. This is just, it's flipped. It's not right. So the martial artists out there are just gonna keep it within themselves and just train in it. And there's just very few people out there that even have the appreciation for it, or are even ready to learn it the way that it should be taught. And that's just how I feel.